It's wonderful to have the intellectual property and the patent. It's great to have the class experience for students. But if you can't execute a presentation to an investor that captures their imagination of how they see this could change the world, they don't invest. And so it's very important to understand what the presentation can look like. And I do want to show you a few images of what the company has gone since the student presentation, because you won't see all the intricacies of the presentation in the video. You'll hear Josh primarily, but I do want you to see a little bit of the company. So this is how the company's positioned today with this logo. This is more the look of how they describe the company. Basically, it's a replacement for the faxing, scanning, and phoning, which have all been Band-Aid solutions for this market. The problem that they showed with this not only being inappropriate for HIPAA laws, but not a cool way to be sharing patient data, that the current ECGs don't fit in the present model of healthcare. They're too costly, particularly for the number of folks we're putting in. This is now what their product looks like. So about the size of a deck of cards. There's a charging station you can hang on the wall, but most of our clinicians at Vanderbilt who are doing this work just walk around with it in their pocket of their lab coat throughout the day, do the work, and then at breaks, at lunch, and in the evening they put it back in the rack for charging, so it's ready to go the next day. So it's highly portable. The leads get changed. Excuse me, the leads get changed in and out by patient. Then it's transmitted up to a host. The host then, if you are the physician recipient or a tech recipient, you can then pull it down on a laptop, an iPad, or your phone and take a look at the information. And it provides basically access anywhere where once you pick which patient you want to see, you can see the waveforms, and it will actually give you, through an algorithm now in the technology, a suggested diagnostic consideration if you are the recipient. You will still make your own final diagnosis as a physician, but based on the wave pattern it says, I believe it may be this or this, and then you can choose to accept that, or as a physician you can choose something different. The overreads take about 10 minutes, so we can have a patient in a small community 100 miles from Nashville or more. This thing moves through a cellular system into Vanderbilt, and the entire time from it, the time it's applied to the patient to the results are back, is about 10 minutes. So it's remarkable that instead of driving 2 hours to get the test, waiting for 2 hours or more to get the test, and then another hour to get your results, the entire time has been compressed now for to about 10 minutes. And the team now has grown. There are 8 individuals, and as soon as they go into full launch here, we're adding about another 15, just primarily in sales and marketing, to move this all across our country. Had a lot of good press out of this, and let me give you what the presentation now looks like. Here we are.
Founder and CEO of NextGXDX, which was a 2010 alum of Jumpstart Foundry. So I'm excited to be here again tonight. I'm here to introduce
this guy was my company just before this one.
CEO of Envision.
He's also a PhD
I've been working with
MBA.
Josh on this company as a mentor for the last 3 months, but I've actually known Josh for the last 5 years. And he is an absolutely fantastic guy in terms of intelligence, integrity, work ethic. He's really second to none. Now, I wanted to tell you all a little bit about Josh's background. He's a pretty modest guy, so I'll go ahead and throw everything out for you all. So he's a PhD and an MBA, so he has both scientific and business training, and he's worked within the medical device industry, both in product development and as far as the FDA approval process. Also, that was at Biomimetic, worked within the diagnostics industry, again, product development, biz dev, FDA approval process at Insight Genetics, and most recently at the Device Innovation Group, where one of the things he's been doing for the last couple of years was traveling across the nation, meeting with tech transfer departments at major academic institutions, and looking at their technology and whether or not to move forward and invest and commercialize that technology. And so when he was given the opportunity to found his own company, he had the benefit of years of experience going out and vetting technologies, and he got his pick of the litter. And that's what he's going to tell you about today, is the technology behind Envision Heart. So he's got the background to execute on that. He's also built a phenomenal team. He's got on board the original founders of this technology out of Vanderbilt University, and a team of phenomenal product development experts as well. And what excites me so much about the opportunity with Envision Heart is the ability to really disrupt the cardiology market, to save hospitals millions in expenses. And this technology that you'll see in just a few minutes also has the ability to open up new markets that were never opened before because of the cost barrier of the existing technology. And they've been able to move the price point down low enough that this could drastically increase the addressable market of this technology. And so, angel investors out there, perk up your ears. I think this is a phenomenal opportunity, and I know Josh is going to knock this thing out of the park. So please help me welcome Dr. Josh Nichols.
Good afternoon. Thank you for this time. I'm Josh Nichols, CEO of Envision Heart. 12 lead ECGs are the gold standard for diagnosing cardiac disease and heart arrhythmias. The technologies were developed over 130 years ago, and in that time, they really haven't changed fundamentally very much, particularly in the way that they convey information to those physicians, nurses, and people that use them in making diagnoses on behalf of their patient. They do one of two things. They either port into an electronic medical record called EMR, or they print paper, thermal paper. That EMR and that piece of paper are accessed by a variety of people across the hospital or healthcare system, from cardiology to interventional cardiology, primary care, and ultimately billing where it's reimbursed. Those EMR systems are clunky and hard to access, and so back to that piece of paper, that really becomes of primary importance. And it has to drift around the hospital or drift around a clinic and find the right person at the right time. The problem is that it's really tough, generally speaking, for that physician to access an ECG when it's needed. So in the meantime, a patchwork solution has emerged of faxing, scanning, and even taking cell phone images of those ECG tracings and transferring them over to colleagues. And in the last example, cell phone images present a number of problems for the hospital. It presents unreadability and hence poor patient care, a violation of HIPAA or healthcare law, a high degree of loss of those tracings, and an unintended consequence is actually Medicare fraud when those reports go unsigned and yet are billed. The devices that exist in the hospital also are a problem. They're large and cumbersome. They have to yet traverse the hospital laterally and across or up and down floors. They're expensive, between $5,000 and $25,000 a piece, and they rapidly become obsolete. So at Envision Heart, we're developing a technology which puts the ability for all of those care providers to access information instantaneously, seamlessly from the point of capture, where a technician can take that information and transfer it out again to cardiology, interventional cardiology, and all the constituents in a patient's care. On the EKG technician side, where that ECG is taken, we have a tablet display that produces a full 12-lead ECG in a format that's readily recognizable to that person, and allows that information to be uploaded to a secure cloud site, where it's then accessed by anyone who's credentialed into the system through a secure series of steps, and then available to view and make decisions from. Within our application are included 4 important tools. One, the ability to make some basic measurements, peak width and height. 2, the opportunity to annotate that report. 3rd, a two-way messaging field that allows the technician and the physician to communicate. And then an electronic signature to be assigned to that, so paper can be eliminated from the system and seamless billing can occur. Whoa. Go back to. Thank you. At the patient point of care is a device that we are licensing from Vanderbilt University. It was invented there. It's small, it's about the size of a deck of cards, and it functionally replaces the entire ECG unit. Again, those large, cumbersome, rolling cart devices that have a computer on top of them. It's small enough and powerful enough to be carried inside of a lab coat pocket all day long, and can be used on a variety of patients at any given time. When at rest, it hangs inside of an inductive charging coil that allows it to be charged passively until it's ready for use again. At the core of our technology is a secure cloud system that performs three vital functions. First, encryption, so it's compliant with HIPAA or healthcare law, 256-bit encryption. Second, EMR integration, so our technology's data can port in and dovetail with the hospital system's records. And third, waveform interpretation. That is, the profile that's generated off that patient. There is an algorithm in our cloud system that allows for a basic, unconfirmed diagnosis to be provided on the viewer side so that physician has some guidance in actually what is happening to that patient and help them develop a treatment plan. From the outset of the development of this technology in the company, we wanted to make the technology available from the smallest clinic, a single or two practitioner practice, up to an enterprise solution like a hospital. And so our volume and our pricing structure is based on volume, and that's scalable so that we can allow this again to be available across a variety of different care settings. Our rollout strategy runs two parallel paths. We're working directly now with one of the major pharmacy companies in the country that has over 700 pharmacy retail clinic-based primary care points. This is an aggressive move on the part of this company to take out of the hospital setting primary care and offer it within one of their clinics. In addition to that, they have 500 employer-based solutions that they are developing as well. And we're also working directly with their EMR developer. The second pathway in our rollout strategy focuses on the rural hospital systems. Looking just here in the Southeast, there are over 200 hospitals that are headquartered here or held by the company's headquarters here that we started talking with one of those major players. These are hospitals that lack a lot of the IT infrastructure that allows them to have consult services with outside physicians. So within those hospitals, they may have a gastroenterologist who's on call within an ER, but they really need a consult from a cardiologist at a major medical center. That is a very difficult process right now to occur, and we're facilitating that, hence our interest, or these hospitals' interest in our technology. Looking at the total market opportunity, composed of both the ECG devices that reside inside the hospitals now, and the expansion market opportunity composed of the freestanding ERs, the ambulatory care centers, and those clinics that I talked about inside the pharmacy. It's about a $620 million market. Focusing just on the immediate addressable portion of that is the hospital systems. It's about a $385 million market opportunity, and we're projecting $25 million in annual revenue by year 5. Our value to the hospital systems thus becomes one of portability and improved workflow, better data management, eliminating the need for paper-based billing to occur, continuous software updates because our technology is born in the cloud, and then eliminating what is presently a capital expenditure by designing our technology to be purchased, to be used as a contract. Our broader value to the healthcare system becomes one where we can take a patient or facilitate that patient from moving inside of a very expensive care setting like a hospital and allow them, under their doctor's guidance, to move outside to one of those step-down clinics, or even perhaps to their home where under the care of a nurse practitioner, they can receive the same diagnostic quality and care at a fraction of that cost. Our competitors are really three different types. The first is a product offered by a company called LiveCore. And LiveCore has what is a single lead ECG. It's fundamentally an iPhone case that has 2 leads in the back of it. And it's useful in a provider's hands who can generate various different degrees of ECG activity from it, but it's not a scalable solution, and it's really not a full enterprise opportunity. There are other companies like GE and Philips that manufacture those legacy devices that I talked about earlier. These are large devices that are difficult to port around inside the hospital. And third, there's a company called Airstrip. Airstrip has a good product. It ports information directly from GE and Philips devices out to physician cell phones in one directional information flow. The problem that it presents is that for a lot of hospitals, it's an expensive solution and thus unattainable. So again, our company is developing a comprehensive technology from the point of data capture to the point of viewer and analysis. We're seeking $750,000 of new capital to support our development. Over the course of the last 3 months inside of Jumpstart, we've accomplished 3 important milestones. Number 1, we have filed a patent application for the technology. 2, we've prototyped the technology. And 3, we're beta testing the technology inside of Vanderbilt Medical Center, where patient data is now being captured and transmitted to cardiologists in a way that is meaningful to their diagnosis. And we're looking to expand that pilot study very quickly. With the capital that we're raising, it will complete our software development, complete our hardware development, achieve for us design lock, allow us to file with the FDA for a 510K application, and pursue that application to completion. Our financial projections again show us achieving a $25 million run rate in year 5 at a 39% EBITDA margin. In year 2, we'll require a second tranche of capital that propel our growth forward to those numbers. We have a great team. My name again is Josh Nichols. I have about 15 years of experience in healthcare, having worked again across medical devices, molecular diagnostics, and orthopedics. My co-founders are Dr. Susan Eagle, who's a practicing cardiac anesthesiologist at Vanderbilt, Dr. Franz Bodenbacher, who's an inventor of this technology. He's also a professor of engineering at Vanderbilt. My colleague, John Whitfield, who is a recent graduate of the engineering school, and will be joining us after Jumpstart. And then as a part of the process of being inside of Jumpstart, we're really fortunate to have a great team of mentors and advisors that cover a variety of different areas of expertise, from finance to healthcare IT to product development and expertise in early stage startup companies. So again, we're in Vision Heart, and we're closing the gap on where ECGs are taken down by EKG technicians. And to the
Okay, so that gives you a sense of the presentation. His presentation was this past August. So it's been almost a year. Right after August, this program he was in at Jumpstart that you just saw the pitch for was our accelerator. Then he's gone into our incubator now. He's been in the incubator for almost a year. He just moved out, now has his own office space. He raised the $2 million this past summer. He originally was going to do this in 2 steps. If you saw the $750 and another $1 million, we decided to raise a little more. And the reason we decided a little more is we had offers for almost $4 million to put in the company. And we thought, well, gee, as long as everybody's wanting to put money in, let's take a bit more. So we took 2.2 just to make sure we had plenty of capital. That was all closed in April, May of this year. Now he's out in his own office space with a team of 8 and getting ready to commercialize this. What excites me about it is Josh was a student in the MBA school. He was coming back to get his MBA. The gentleman who joined him as his lead engineer was an engineering student who just graduated this past May and has now joined him on the team. 3 of the students who were on the original team have actually joined the company now as well. We've had 2 opportunities to sell the business for a significant multiple of what's in it already. As you can imagine, a couple of the big names beside us there on the graph are both interested in owning this opportunity. We think we'll wait a while, get this in a few hundred hospitals, really make a dent in their sales, and then we think they'll want to pay even more for it. Ultimately, this is not going to be an initial public offering kind of company. We will go through a merger transaction and sell it into a larger entity. Vanderbilt will continue to get its royalties, and this team will go do another one. So Josh looks to be a serial entrepreneur and wants to bring several medical devices to market. Dr. Wadwalker has about 6 more ideas in the queue, and we think they'll become just a production machine. So with that, I will see if you have any final questions for me. Hopefully through this morning, you got to see what happens in the classroom when we take things out of tech transfer. After the classroom for a semester, it goes into our on-campus program where they spend 14 weeks. You got to see the pitch after 14 weeks, which wasn't a bad pitch, got him a couple million. And then he spent a year in our incubator getting actually ready to grow and turn this into a business. And now they're poised to really make significant impact in the market. Yes?
Any sales during this last year? Any actual sales?
Yes, we have pre-commitments for over 500 units. The question was, do you have any sales? We have commitments for 500 units that will ship in February.
Unfortunately, we don't have time for any further questions. However, we have a break coming up after 30 minutes, and Dr. Burcham will be happy to answer your question during the break.